Prepare yourself for a month full of surprises, change, and growth. September is going to be the most intense month of 2024. So it's important for you to have grace with yourself. In this astrology and energy update for September 2024, I'm going to share the different ways that you can prepare to harness the power of this super full moon eclipse. It is no accident that we are having a super full moon and eclipse right before the equinox, all happening within a few days of each other. Eclipses are generally known as a time of chaos because they bring things from our past to the surface. You may notice exes calling you, or you having dreams with old friends you fell out of touch with, or things from your past life showing up, because eclipses bring karma to the surface for it to be cleared. This is a completion cycle that eclipses try to create for us. That's why sometimes it can look surprising, it can look destabilizing, because our souls are moving through so much fast growth that it can create instability. So in September, it's no longer a luxury for you to be grounding, but it's going to become a necessity, because we're going to experience shocking and surprising events. And that is why I'm hosting an alchemy workshop in September, because we need to learn how to transmute the chaos into stability, the confusion into clarity. Alchemy is all about transforming energy from one state into another. And in September, you need to really transform your emotions and transform your thoughts so that you are not getting swept up into the chaos, into all of the instability happening in the world. In this alchemy workshop on September 12th and 13th, I'm going to share 3 alchemy tenets that were used in Atlantis and ancient Egypt that allowed the ancient Egyptians to turn rocks into gold. We're going to be doing that internally. You're going to learn how to work with fire, water, air, and earth to transform your emotions, your thoughts, from self-doubt into empowerment, from anxiety into peace. If you want more details, you can find them in the description of this video. Right now we're doing an early bird pricing special, so make sure you check that out soon. The way that I do these energy and astrology updates, I channel and I sit with my guides and I ask them, what is the most important thing for the collective to become aware of in September? So I don't share all of the astrological events because they impact us to different degrees. I am just going to share the most powerful ones for the collective. Hey, welcome if you're new here. My name is IamSolTara. I'm a medium and I share alchemy practices from Atlantis and ancient Egypt. If that resonates with you, I invite you to subscribe. The 3 themes for September are resilience, strength, and passion. Use these 3 themes as pillar points for you to navigate the turbulence, the chaos, the challenges of September and October, because the eclipses come in pairs. So use these 3 pillars to help you to have a more graceful, a more empowering month. Because remember, we're not at the mercy of this cosmic energy of the planets, but rather we are transmuting, which is what alchemy is. Alchemy is all about transforming energy. So we transform the intensity into empowering change. So you can either be choosing to just get swept up by the change, or you can consciously work with the change to choose how you want to move forward. And September is a huge opportunity for soul growth. Because the veil between the dimensions is thinner in September, you have the opportunity to experience and create quantum healing, quantum jumps, and quantum shifts for yourself. The way that you do that is by being mindful all of September, all of October, during this eclipse season. Be mindful of your choices, because during this eclipse window, during this equinox portal, our choices are going to have quantum ripples through space and time. So the choices that you make this month, they're going to have different effects across the dimensions. We start off the month on September 1st with Uranus going retrograde. This is an intense transit for two main reasons. Uranus is going retrograde in Taurus. Taurus prefers stability. It likes the comfort of what it knows. However, Uranus is the planet that likes to shake things up. It likes to bring surprises, and it's going to push you out of your comfort zone because it's in Taurus. Uranus brings shocking events, it brings surprises, and it shakes things up, not for the sake of doing it, but because it focuses on bringing something new, creating something new. It's all about innovation. So this is your month to really embrace change. Uranus is also connected to revolutionary energy. It is known for challenging the status quo. So we will definitely see across the world global uprisings. From now until May 2025, Uranus will be transiting across Algol. Algol is known as the star of violence, unexpected events, and misfortune. Actually, when Mars, Uranus, and Algol came together in July, that happened just 4 days before the assassination attempt on Donald Trump. Because of this Algol-Uranus transit, Uranus going retrograde, we can expect a turbulent period of surprises, shocking events, and things just pushing us out of our comfort zone. On top of that, right now we are entering the peak of a solar cycle. On September 2nd, we have the Virgo New Moon. This is the first new moon of 2024 that is not a super new moon. And that is because September is the month of closure and endings. I'll talk about that more when we cover the eclipse. Work with this Virgo new moon of structure, of discipline, of groundedness to create more discipline, more devotion, more structure into your spiritual practices. Because in September, the best way that you're going to be able to navigate the storms, the challenges that we move through is by focusing on the internal. When you are more clear, aligned, grounded, peaceful internally, it allows you to interact with your external reality from a space of empowerment rather than getting sucked up into the chaos. It's no accident that the equinox, the start of a new season, fall in the northern hemisphere, spring in the southern hemisphere, happens right after the eclipse, because eclipses are all about bringing closure to karma. And on September 9th, we have the 9-9 portal. 9 in numerology represents endings, completion. This 9-9 portal is a great day for you to tie up loose ends and bring a closure to things. On September 17th and 18th, we have a super full moon eclipse. This is the second closest super full moon of the year. It's also an eclipse. On top of that, this is the final partial lunar eclipse of this Saros cycle. A Saros cycle is a cycle of 18 years that's used to predict eclipses. Eclipse seasons tend to be difficult because they are closure points in our karmic cycles. So it's important for you to connect with the theme of resilience to deal with this. Your soul has incarnated thousands of times. For some of you, hundreds of thousands of times. So think about the resilience that your soul has across lifetimes, the different lessons that you've evolved out of, that you have transcended. Connect with that soul resilience to help you move forward in this eclipse season, but overall in this incarnation that you're currently in, to help you transcend the current karmic cycles that you are still stuck in. Be mindful of sabotage that might be creeping up on you, because we're going through a solar plexus purge in September. With this eclipse, it can bring a lot of volatility to your emotions, but don't get sucked into the stories of the emotions, into the turbulence of the emotions. Remember to practice discernment. because this is a super full moon in Pisces in both Vedic and sidereal astrology, it's very rare to have the two different astrological systems having the same sign within full moons, but we have it during this full moon. So work with that Pisces energy of flow. Pisces is represented by the fish. The fish flows with the current. It doesn't go against the current. So similarly, allow your emotions to flow. Do not resist them, but also don't get sucked into your emotions, because emotions are also part of the illusion that we're experiencing within this 3D plane. Triggers are easier to navigate once your solar plexus and your root chakra are balanced and clear, because the solar plexus is the area where we receive the projections from the external world. And I'll share with you a technique that you can use to clear your solar plexus when we talk about the equinox in a moment. Whenever you get triggered, it's also an opportunity for you to remember your power. Remember your power at a soul level. Don't get sucked into the illusion of this world and all the artificial structures that we've created here, all the different ways that we've given our power away to. Because even though eclipses are a challenging period, they're also an incredible period for growth and for you to call back your power. Anytime you're triggered, remember that you have a choice of how you respond. And because the veil between the dimensions is thinner during this eclipse, it's going to be easier for you to make quantum shifts and changes when you are making conscious choices. Use those triggers as points for you to springboard into a higher timeline. If you want to learn more about timelines, how they work, and what are the 5 different factors that contribute to how timelines collapse in your personal life and how the collective timeline affects your timeline, we're going to cover that in the alchemy workshop. It's important this month for you to be extra mindful of any accidents that can happen, because eclipses tend to come with a lot of chaotic and intense energy because of the fast changes that they create. A visual that my spirit team shared with me that you might find helpful is they showed me a ship navigating a storm in the ocean. So they were saying that even though we're entering a turbulent period, it doesn't necessarily mean that it has to be turbulent for you. One way for you to navigate through this turbulent period is by focusing on the things that you can control. So for example, this boat in the ocean, even though they can't control the waters, the people on the boat, they can control the ship, right? With the steering wheel. I know that's not what it's called, but I don't know the name for it. So you can control the direction that the ship moves in. You can also control the sail and what it does. So similarly, focus on the things that you can control. And they said to use your breath as a windshield wiper. So our emotions, they tend to create a lot of confusion, and sometimes they can create clouds and make the storm even more stronger and difficult to navigate. So use your breath to release the intensity of any of the emotions that you may be experiencing this month. Doing that will also help you to stay more clear, because discernment is going to be very important in September and October, because when the veil between the dimensions is thin, it's not just friendly energy that comes into this plane. There's all sorts of energy coming into this plane. And in this month and next month, you may notice that your loved ones who have passed on and crossed the veil, they'll come into your dreams or come into your meditations, because right now it is easier for these spirits to come in. So just remember to practice discernment, and your intuition is going to be extremely heightened with this super full moon in Pisces. So trust your intuition, but also learn to practice discernment in a more clear way. The easiest way to do that is by breathing out the intensity, the confusion, so that you allow the messages from your higher self to come in and to be downloaded, to be streamlined into your consciousness within this plane. You're going to have so many different dreams this month, so definitely sleep with a notebook next to you and write down your dreams. Even though they may seem very bizarre and they make no sense to you, over a period of days, you're going to start to see the codes and the messages and downloads from your dreams showing up, because sometimes we also receive messages from past lives in our dreams. If you want to learn how to more consciously work with your past lives, parallel lives, and future lives, I invite you to join us for this alchemy workshop, because I'm going to explain how to more consciously work with your multi-dimensional wisdom, which is accessible to all of us. Something that my guides share, and I was a bit confused when they shared this, is they said diamond prism light. There's 2 layers to that message. So we are going to be receiving activations from a diamond light that's flowing into our planet, into our energy fields right now. And what I had to do is I had to go look at videos of what happens when light hits a diamond and how it refracts. So this month, you are going to have to be that pillar of light that radiates out all of these colors, all of these energies into your family. You have to be a pillar of peace, a pillar of clarity for your family and for the people in your home. So remember to focus on creating more internal stability. Every single month we host a full moon ritual and meditation. This month we're going to be working with the crystalline light flowing in to do an energy surgery within our fields. So just like we have the 7 main chakras, you also have kind of like chakra points in your energy field. So we're going to be working with that diamond crystalline light to clear out anything that is not in alignment with our highest good within our energy field. If you want to join us for that ritual meditation, you can get more information in the description of this video. So the day before the super full moon eclipse, we have Mars squaring the nodes of the moon. Mars is the planet of passion, intensity, war, and aggression. But remember, as an alchemist, you have to transform that energy. So transform the intensity into passion and breathe that extra fire into your solar plexus, and use that extra fire to strengthen your will to change, because that's what September is asking you to do, to embrace change. And we have beautiful support with this flow of change on September 19th, the Sun trine Uranus. This is asking us to flow in harmony with change, which is what Uranus represents. This can also signify fortunate situations. So because this happens after the super full moon eclipse, you will have already cleared some things, which means that you may receive some of your manifestations on this day, because our manifestations already want to come to us, but we have to release the blocks in order to receive them. So be open to receive on that day. Then on September 21st, the Sun trines Pluto, and actually the first day of September, Pluto enters Capricorn for the last time in our lifetimes. So for the next 20 years, Pluto is going to be in Aquarius. This transit of Pluto in Aquarius shows that the power will return to the people. At the individual level, you may notice power politics showing up in your life, whether that's in your office or in your family or in your friends' circles. Just be extra mindful of any of those situations rising up. Pluto is all about bringing the shadows, the illusions to the surface. Be mindful of any illusions that will rise up in your relationships during that time. Then on September 22nd, we have the equinox. Our ancestors celebrated the equinox as a point of evolution. And for this particular equinox in September, it is about expansion and contraction. So everything in this universe, everything in this reality has a pulsation. Our heart is constantly expanding and contracting as it's pumping out and receiving blood. Everything else mimics this pattern. And our role for this equinox is to bring harmony into that relationship of expansion and contraction, to bring more grace into it, because during the equinox we have nearly exactly 12 hours of daytime and nighttime everywhere in the world, representing this perfect harmony of the sun, the electric, the night, the moon, the magnetic, the feminine, and we have to create perfect balance between these two internal aspects of ourselves. It's simply a process of remembering. Your soul already had this perfect balance of harmony. And when we incarnated, when we descended into this physical 3D world, we forgot that and we lost the distortions through that incarnation process. So just remember, spend time reflecting on where do you need to create more harmony internally so that you can see that be created externally in your physical world. The equinox is a point of evolution, and that's why it's no accident that the eclipse, a period of clearing karma, happens right before. So this is a point of evolution, but it's within the bigger scale of planetary evolution that we're moving through. And that's why right now it's very intense. Something to help you to navigate through that is doing this solar plexus cleansing and activating technique. So focusing on your solar plexus 3 days before, the day of, and 3 days after the equinox, go outside and breathe in the sun's rays into your energy field. Just like the sun creates life in our planet, without the sun, there would be no photosynthesis, which means there would be no oxygen, which means there would be no air, and there would be no life on this planet. So breathe in that life force of the sun into your cells. Just like the plants breathe that into themselves to create chlorophyll, do the same thing, because you need to clear all of the gunk that you're keeping in your energy field, in your cells, in your DNA, because we're going to be receiving activations during this time. The way to do this is go out, if you can, at sunrise or sunset, and breathe in the sun's rays to purify your mind, your eyes, your voice, your body, your emotions, your energy field. So just do however many breaths feel right for you, and then focus on your solar plexus, breathing in that life force from the sun into your internal life force area, which is the fire in your belly, your solar plexus. So breathe that into your solar plexus until you feel that power turn on inside of you. And the equinox is a big manifestation point. So after you do your releasing with the full moon eclipse, then do your manifestations during the equinox. So summary of September is to be grounded, to be calm, to be this pillar of strength amongst the storm, and for you to connect with your intuition. Your intuition is going to be extremely heightened during this super full moon Pisces eclipse. So pay attention to your dreams, practice discernment. I hope that September is an empowering month of graceful change for you. Thank you for your comments. Thank you for your likes. I read all the comments, so I'd love to hear how this felt for you. How are you feeling this eclipse energy? Remember to be grounded and stay aligned, and I will see you in October. Much love.